The Morat Aggression Force. Considered a plague by the rest of the universe, the Morat are a militaristic race par excellence. These aggressive and violent aliens have become the main shock force for the combined army. The Morat are professional soldiers. They obey the chain of command and fight following orders received until the bitter end if necessary, as is expected of those who have consecrated their lives to the craft of war. Neither honor nor personal glory exist for the Morat. Think Planet of the Apes meet the 300. That's what the Morat Aggression Force are. Now, I'm not going to go into everything because, frankly, there's just way too much to go over, but I will be hitting all of the highlights and notable changes. Let's dig in. Alright, we're starting out with the Morat Vanguard Infantry. So, the Morat Vanguard Infantry are the basic line troops for the Morat Aggression Force, or MAF. 4-4 movement, 15 CC, 11 BS, 12 Fizz, 13 Whip, 1 Armor, 3 BTS, 1 Wound. Availability total. Notable highlight is going to be the K1 Sniper Rifle. K1 Sniper Rifle is so tasty good. You should always bring the Sniper Rifle if you're going to bring a Morat Vanguard Corps. Their special skills are Religious and Veteran, which was the Morat rule in N3. They've just separated it for N4. So not big changes, but take the K1 Sniper Rifle. You could also take the missile launcher because missile launchers are amazing, but I'm going to pick the K1 Sniper. Moving on, we've got the Raicho. The Raicho got a bunch of really awesome changes, and you're going to always want to bring a Raicho because that's what CB wanted you to do anyway, was get more tags. So there's 6-4 movement, 17 CC, 14 BS, 17 Fizz, 12 Whip, 8 armor, 6 BTS, 3 structure, size 7. Bring 2 of these guys. Their equipment is ECM guided -6, but also ECM hacker -3. So anything trying to hack these guys are gonna get a -3 to it. So good luck with that, hackers. BS attack +1 damage, dodging, Fizz equals 11. The can fire team duo. Woo, duo Raichos right up the gut. Come get some. Gizmo Kid is on a Fizz 12. Critical immunity. These guys cannot be crit, and having played with this, it's so fun to be like, I crit. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Not at all. Not at all. So you don't have to make that extra save. It's wonderful. Shock immunity, tactical awareness, religious troop, and veteran. The Morat rule. Though their profiles, they got 3 profiles now. The first one's at 73 points and 1.5 SWC, multi-heavy machine gun, and a heavy rocket launcher. This is good for far out and medium range targets. They have no up-close things though, and no template weapons is what you usually see on a tag. It's just all long-range weaponry, which isn't bad if you're in a pinch, but if you got, 4 extra points, you're going to want to upgrade it just in case something was to get close, and especially if you're going to be playing against Ariadne and you are, I would absolutely find the SWC and points to upgrade it. The other one is the multi-heavy machine gun, a heavy shotgun, and a mine dispenser. This was the Raicho's claim to fame, is the mine dispenser. 1.5 SWC, and he's 82 points. That's a lot of points for that mine dispenser. One I really like, which I don't think you're going to see a bunch of. You may, just because of the changes to Kornak, which we'll get to a little bit later. He's an NCO, so effectively, with the order the Raicho gets, the tactical awareness order, and NCO, he could bring 3 orders just for the Raicho or his duo alone, which is wonderful. Wonderful. Always bring more orders for your tag. But they got a multi-heavy machine gun and a heavy flamethrower, which you'll see the flamethrower on a lot of tags just for those up-close guys that get in too close to them. Because CC for a bunch of tags is just bad news for the tag. But he's 2 SWC and 77 points. So if you've got the 4 extra points, I would absolutely upgrade to the NCO. You may want to upgrade to the NCO even if you never use it, just because that's the next best thing to grab. The Raicho pilot is a specialist operative. He's a pilot, religious troop and veteran, because with a combi rifle and D charges, assault pistol, +1 burst, and a CCW. A lot of people don't like to, once they brought the tag, they're not going to drop. I would like to drop if you short on specialist and you need like you know you're not going to win for points, I'd park the Raicho, drop the pilot because he's going to be completely hidden behind the Raicho, push the button, and then get back in the Raicho. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. 17 CC, respectable. 12 BS, 12 Fizz, 12 Whip. No armor, though. No armor. And 1 wound. It's kind of hit and miss if you really want to take the pilot out of the tag, but if you're short on it, I would definitely do it. Definitely do it. Moving on, and we are going to stop our usual happiness with this, and we're going to talk about the Hungries for just a second. I'm a little upset at Corvus Belli about the Hungries, and I try to find the silver lining, so we're going to start with the bad before we get to the good. And we're going to talk about the Predas before we talk about the Gakis, because the Predas are now absolutely worthless. There's no reason. I've absolutely tried to find out a reason to bring them, because the Osnat has lost its Hungries control device. So while, yes, you can make a special fire team of up to 4 Hungries, or Gakis or Predas, and 1 or 2 Osnats, it's not going to fit, because you're going to end up having the Predas in the group, and you're going to spend the irregular order, because their orders no longer turn regular in that core group. So as soon as you spend that irregular order on the Preda, the fire team is broken. So there's no reason to bring the Predas, and there's no reason to bring the old Osnat fire team, which you use to make points, and that's probably by design with now the 15 order max pool that you can bring, because Corvus Belli wanted tactical window. But I wouldn't even bother at all with the Predas. The Gakis are another story, and the only reason that I found any silver lining on the Gakis at all is don't bring them in a fire team. Again, let's not even worry about the fire team. The fire team is not going to work for you, and it's not going to work the way you want it to. However, Gakis got Berserk, which the things that are going on, the changes to Berserk, you're only basically going to get 1 hit because you can't use Berserk as of right now while engaged. That may change, and it's been confirmed that it's under review. We're going to take that off the table right now. You're going to get Berserk for 1 use unless you waste another 2 orders to dodge out and then try to Berserk again. You're on 1 hit. You got 1 shot at it. Their CC is 20 with a move 6/6. So that's 12 inches, and you can't miss because it's not a face-to-face roll. And they have Explode, which is what the Gakis are known for. So if you can get within line of sight, whole order Berserk on the Gakis, they're moving a whole foot up to hit you. Even if they shot you and the Gaki was to die, you're getting a hit, basically a free hit, and you're going to explode. That's 2 armor saves that the enemy is going to have to take because of Berserk and Explode. And I think that's brilliant. I want to bring all 4 of these. So you can bring your 10 team in group 1 and then fill out the second group with 4 Gakis and just let them run crazy and soften up the enemy if they can make it there. And I think that they could. I think that they have a chance to make it good. And even if they don't, they're going to become a roadblock for anything else that's there, because they do get to dodge an extra inch. It's dodge plus 1 inch. So they're going to get to move 3 inches up on the dodge, so you can just get closer and closer and closer, because they are dodging on 14s, which is very, very respectable. That's the only way I would bring the Gakis. And next up we have the Daturazi Witch Soldiers, the warband of the Morat Aggression Force. These guys are so good. So, they are regular and impetuous. 4/4 movement, 23 CC, 11 BS. Who cares? You'll see why. 14 Fizz, 13 Whip, 1 Armor, 0 BTS, 1 Wound. You can have 5. That's fine. All seems good so far. CC Specialist. Got it. Special skills include Martial Arts Level 4. So Martial Arts Level 4 is going to get a +3 to you, a -3 to your opponent, and a +3 damage. Meaning when you hit, damage 17. That's really hard to come back from. And the reason why that's is really, really, really good is because of Berserk. You can't miss. There's no way that they're not going to take a hit from a damage 17 close combat weapon, because they all have shot close combat weapons except for the only one that you're actually going to be worried about in this entire list of Daturazi profiles. But we'll get to that in just a minute. Dodge +1 inch, Mimetism -3. Woohoo! Religious and Veteran, Morat rule, Fireteam Core. Very interesting indeed. So there's 4 profiles here with the combi rifle, smoke grenade, shock, close combat weapon, and a heavy pistol for 18 points. That's cool. We're going to skip that next one just for a second. We're going to get through the rest of these. Boarding shotgun, smoke grenades, pistol, shock close combat weapon, and a heavy pistol. Not sure why we have a pistol and a heavy pistol. It's probably a misprint, and they're probably going to end up fixing it, but that's also 18 points. Boarding shotgun, as most people would agree, are really good. Then you have the Daturazi combi rifle with smoke grenade launcher, shot close combat weapon, heavy pistol, 0.5 SWC, 18 point. I want you to forget every single one of those that I just mentioned, because the only one that you're really ever going to be worried about ever is the second one. Chain rifle, +1 burst, grenades, and smoke grenades, heavy pistol, and a double action close combat weapon. With the martial arts level 4, Berserk, you are going to hit. You're hitting on 26s. Unless something has natural born warrior, of course. But still, you can't miss. Even if they took away the martial art. That's a damage 14. You can't miss hit. And they have to make 2 saves. That's beautiful and brilliant. And not to mention, if you happen to make a core of these guys, or even if you don't, you just want them to have the smoke throwers to go with a Yaogat, Core, or Harris, you got a nice little smoke trick going. And there is nothing funnier in this world than coordinated order, Datarazis, they're all throwing grenades at something. It's just hilarious. It doesn't matter if they only take like 1 wound or no wounds. It's just hilarious to do. The Dice Abide wrote a wonderful little script here, said coordinated order, throwing grenades at a single target is just funny. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it's like, oh, that's really dumb to do. It's like, it's funny. And that's why you bring Datarazis. But they're really good. They're really good. I like Datarazis. I am not a fan of the core. That's just me. I would rather them run individually and maybe like move as teams. Because that's how I run my Galwegians in Caledonia. And so I see them very similarly, except for, a little bit better because of the martial arts level 4 and the mimetism. And they're veteran and religious because we don't care about loss of lieutenant because we are Morat. Datarazis are fantastic. You should try them out. Need to at least bring 2. Moving right along, the Kergat Regiment of Assault Engineers. You still have the Medtech Obsidian, which is the better engineer. But I want to talk about the Kergats for just a minute, because I love the Kergats. And the reason I love the Kergats, it is one of 3 units in all of Infinity that have the portable autocannon. And it is the only unit in all of Infinity that can have a Harris with a portable autocannon. That is 3 shots from an AP explosive weapon on your active turn for 1 SWC and 30 points. That's amazing. Amazing. They got 4/4 movement, 14 CC. You're not going to get these guys in close combat. They're specialists in shooters. 12 BS, 12 Fizz, 13 Whip, 1 Armor, 3 BTS, 1 Wound. You can bring 3 of them. If you're going to have an ARO piece and you're strapped for 5 points, which we're going to talk about the Yaogats next, bring the portable autocannon. Portable autocannon, for all of my Ariadna players, will tell you, and myself included, is an amazing ARO piece, and we love bringing the Tank Hunter with a portable autocannon. The Kergat is better because I get 3 shots. And dice are king. Because you're usually only using your portable autocannon in Ariadna as an ARO piece. Now I'm getting 2 shots on ARO from the portable autocannon because it's linkable with a 3-man Harris team, and I get 3 shots on active turn. Kergats are just for that fact, need to grab Kergats and try out the linkable portable autocannon. Fantastic. Moving right along is the Yaogat Strike Infantry. I think Yaogats were one of my favorite units already in Morat, and I think you're going to see a lot more of them now because they got the 4/4 movement upgraded from N3. Instead of having the 4/2 movement, they got the 4/4 like most medium infantry got. 15 CC, 12 BS, 12 Fizz, 13 Whip, 3 Armor, 3 BTS, 1 Wound, availability 5. All come with multi-spectral visor level 2. Fantastic. Fireteam Harris, wonderful. Number 2. All of these guys are standard number 2. Your fire team is fine. They have the Morat rule, the religious and veteran troop, and Fireteam Corps. The big profile that is here, they got 2 multi-sniper rifle options. One is multi-sniper rifle plus 1 damage for 34 points, 1.5 SWC, and the multi-sniper rifle plus 1 burst for 1.5 SWC and 35 points. I think you can tell which one is better because more burst, more dice wins. And being able 4 dice on an MSV2 linkable unit, I think you're going to see a lot more Yaogat cores. And I'm super excited about it. I can't wait. Can't wait to just ruin somebody's day with a Yaogat sniper rifle plus 1 burst. It's going to be fantastic. Moving on is my favorite unit in all of MAF is the Rasyat Diplomatic Corps. And if you haven't read the story of the Rasyat Diplomatic Corps, I encourage you to go to Human Sphere and read about it because it's absolutely hilarious. But getting on to the profile is the 4-4 movement, 21 CC, 12 BS, 13 Fizz, 13 Whip, 2 Armor, no BTS, 1 Wound, availability 3. They got Martial Arts level 2, Courage, Natural Born Warrior, and wait, what's this? Parachutist Deployment Zone. Hold on, you're telling me that the Rasyat got Van Zant's signature ability? Oh my goodness. It's beautiful and amazing. Because they got your regular combi rifle as you used to see with the decharges and eclipse grenades for 32 points. Let's not forget the heavy pistol and double action close combat weapon. It's fantastic, dropping in your deployment zone. That's scary enough. Moving on, they got also 32 points, sporting shotgun decharges, eclipse grenades, heavy pistol, and double action close combat weapon. But see, I think that's better because of the new template weapon for the boarding shotgun. It's fantastic. Then you have a big guy, Rasyat, with a Spitfire double action close combat weapon and a heavy pistol 1.5 SWC for 37 points. Having somebody drop a Spitfire in your deployment zone with eclipse grenades, oh, Varuna better watch out. Varuna better watch out because I am no longer worried at all about the Kamau. The Kamau is trash now because of the Rasyat. Because I've got eclipse grenades and your MSV2 doesn't do crap for me. Drop him in a safe place, throw the eclipse grenades, and light a sucker up. Just start taking out that link team with the Spitfire. And they got a 4th profile, a specialist operative profile for all of those wonderful little cards that you draw for your special missions. They'd be like, oh, you got to get all the way in their deployment zone for things if those are, still part of the missions, with a combi rifle and an emitter, decharges and eclipse grenades, and a heavy pistol. Right now, they do not have any sort of close combat weapon. I don't know if that's by design or it's just somebody overlooked it, but he's only 34 points. Somebody dropping a unit with eclipse grenades in your deployment zone with an emitter is arguably, if you're going first, scarier than the Spitfire. And I love it, and it makes me happy, and I'm grinning from ear to ear, and everybody should too. If you can afford the Rasyat and he works into your plan, bring the Rasyat. It's so funny, so funny. Moving right along is the Sogarat. Sogarats, they saw a little bit of change. The big thing about the Sogarats is they lost that full auto level 2, which is very disappointing, but we'll be fine. And the reason that we'll be fine is because these guys are huge. They're size 5 guys. 4-4 movement, 20 CC, 13 BS, 14 Fizz, 13 Whip, 6 Armor, 6 BTS, and 2 Wounds. BS attack plus 1 damage. Fireteam Duo, Shock Immunity, no wound incapacitation, basically giving you 3 wounds, and CC attack plus 1 damage. So CC attack is going to be 15s. Damage 15. Wonderful. And they basically have a set of 3 profiles. So you've got your heavy machine gun and your pulsar for 1.5, 56 points, and your 4-buck plus 1 burst pulsar, heavy pistol, AP close combat weapon 1.5 SWC for 60 points. Then you have the NCO duo there, which is all of the same things except both of them come with NCO, and they're 2 points more than the regulars. And then you have your set of lieutenants for the same price as the regular. If you're gonna bring Sogorats, which I don't see a lot of Sogorats, even though Sogorats are so good, I think you're most likely going to see the NCOs. I think you're going to see the NCOs, and being able to give a Sogarat duo 2 orders along with Anya can be a part of a fireteam duo of Sogorats I think that's really good. I think that's really good because we'll get to Anya later. I'm gonna gush about Anya later, but I think the Sogorats are good. I still think you're not going to see a whole lot of them just because the Raicho is just that much better. But Sogorats are very neat and they're very cool models, and I think you should pick them up. Sogorats are fantastic. Moving right along is the Zerat Lone Skirmisher of Morats, and probably one of the only skirmishers that has 0 camouflage, because MAF has 0 camouflage at all. There's no subtlety to MAF whatsoever. But they did get better because instead of just having mimetism -3, they now got mimetism -6. So for my old guys, they got ODD. So much better. Stealth, total terrain, and the Morat rule with the infiltration. That's crazy and so good. You're gonna end up bringing people end up bringing 2 Zerats anyway, and now you're just like, they've just gotten that much better. Because you've got your multi-sniper rifle for 1.5 SWC and 27 points heavy pistol close combat weapon, which is wonderful. And I've brought the multi-sniper against Jonathan before, and I think he wasted like 6 orders just trying to get rid of the sniper rifle. So if you can bring a third Zerat, I would absolutely bring the multi-sniper. The other one, you've got your killer hacking device, combi rifle, light flamethrower, and D charges for 27 points and no SWC. Fantastic. They also got a regular hacking device with combi rifle, D charges, a light flamethrower, heavy pistol. He's 29 points and 0.5 SWC. Still good. If you just need a hacker, I would still want to kind of bring the killer hacker for points cost, and because Morats are not as SWC heavy as a lot of armies are, but they can be if you're not careful. You got your combi rifle emitter shock mines for 26 points. That's fine. The other 2 big ones are obviously your Forward Observer with boarding shotgun, flash pulse, and shock mines for 25 points, and the mine layer. The mine layer? Zerat mine layer? I mean, everybody's going to know what the mine is if you bring the Zerat mine layer, because there's no camo in MAF, but all of a sudden, wait, there's a camo token. Why is there a camo token in MAF? It's because of the shock mines. Combi rifle, light flamethrower, shock mines. I think Zerats overall have gotten infinitely better, and people at most lists see 2 Zerats anyway. You've got a plethora of choices here. If you're going to killer hacker in the Forward Observer, if you're going to bring that third one, if it were me, I'd definitely bring that multi-sniper rifle. Yes, while 11BS isn't great, you're really there because you're crit fishing. Crit fishing on certain targets, and you're making your opponent waste their precious 15 orders to do it. Now, yes, people can get over 15 orders, and it's very easy now with the plethora of NCO in all these armies now, but orders are the commodity, and they're going to have to waste orders to get rid of an ODD that's also in cover. Beautiful, fantastic, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Moving on is we're going to go to the Suryat, the Assault Heavy Infantry. Suryats are wonderful, fantastic. The 4-4 movement, 17 CC, 13 BS, 13 Fizz, 13 Whip, 4 armor, 6 BTS, 2 wounds, availability 5. With Fireteam Duo, Fireteam Harris, AP immunity, which is so good. You see a lot more armor piercing in all the armies, and armor piercing is so important now. To have AP immunity is fantastic. It's so good. Shock immunity, terrain jungle, the Morat religious veteran, and Fireteam Core. So you can make a whole Fireteam of Suryats if you wanted to. Big profiles here is you got your Suryat Lieutenant +1 order, heavy machine gun, 10 bot with firewall -3, close combat weapon, multi-pistol, 1.5 SWC, and 45 points. Yeah, sure, you could absolutely bring that. But what you're going to see the most of is the Suryat Tactical Awareness in a Vanguard Core with Kornak. And probably Anya, because that's what I do. But the Suryat Tactical Awareness, Heavy Machine Gun, 10 bot fire, wall -3, CC weapon, multi-pistol, 1.5 SWC, and 44 points. It's just so good. It's so good. There's nothing else to say other than with the AP immunity and tactical awareness in a core being your high burst weapon, bring the Suryat. You're going to see him, you're going to love him, and you're going to live by Suryat Assault Heavy Infantry. At least one in every single list. Moving on is the Big Lieutenant, and he didn't used to be, like, you saw him a lot, but now you're just, like, almost always going to see Kornak, Superior Warrior Officer, and the reason why is because of one profile, is his Lieutenant +1 order and Strategos level 1. He's bringing 3 orders all by himself, and that is, by itself, wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. You could get easily up to 13 orders in a limited insertion list because of Kornak, and it's wonderful. He's got 4-4 movement, 22 CC, 14 BS. That's one of the best shots in the whole sectorial. 13 Fizz, 14 Whip, 3 Armor, 9 BTS, 1 Wound, because he is medium infantry. He does have Berserk, which is not as good as it once was, but it could change. It could change. I'm hoping it does. I really am. Dodge +1 inch, Natural Born Warrior, which makes Berserk better with how Berserk is now, because at least nobody can use martial arts against you. Fireteam Harris, Immunity Shock, no wounding cap, so effectively 2 wounds, and his points are being kept down because of Frenzy, which once he kills someone, he'll turn impetuous, which that kind of makes sense for the Morats, and especially if you're going to have somebody leading your lieutenant, be like, oh, bloodlust, let's go. But it won't matter in a fire team. It won't matter in a fire team. But he's got a Mark 12 and a light flamethrower, heavy pistol, double action close combat weapon for 45 points. And he's a wild card. He can go into any fire team that you want him to go into. Kornak is brilliant, and I think is exactly what MAF needed to be great. Moving right along is the Dire Foes girl of the evening, Anya. 4-4 movement, 19 CC, 12 BS, 12 Fizz, 13 Whip, 1 Armor, 3 BTS, 1 Wound, with Shock Immunity, woohoo, Specialist Operative, more woohoo, Climbing Plus, and the Morat rule. She can point a special fire team with the Vanguards, Suryats, Sogarats, or with your Raicho. Anya is so good, and the reason that you'll want to bring her, you're going to set aside 24 points, bring Anya, is because she's the only other unit in all of MAF with another K1 combi rifle out to 16 inches, along with chain cult, smoke grenades, and EM grenades. With EM grenades, yes please. Yes, please. She's got a close combat weapon and a heavy pistol. Brings another form of K1, which is so good. So good. With the chain cult, smoke grenades, giving your core team smoke, and an EM grenades, which Anya is so good. So good. She's a battle like Kornak. I think you're going to see her a lot. Probably, well, okay, maybe not as much as Kornak, but you're going to see her a lot, especially with all these fire teams. And the new unit is the Dropsuit Taryot. Dropsuit Taryot is, I think, one of the more brilliant things that CB has ever come up with, because it's a remote. And if you've not read up on this in your core book yet, you definitely should, because it's also almost as hilarious as the Rasyat. So 4-4 movement, 15 CC, 11 BS, not great, I know, but it's okay. 12 Fizz, 13 Whip, 1 Armor, 6 BTS, 1 Structure. You can bring 3. Remote Presence, Courage, Immunity Shock, Parachutist, the Morat rule, and Combat Jump Explosion. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They've got a boarding shotgun, heavy pistol, CCW for 22 points. The Red Fury with a heavy pistol, close combat weapon, 1 SWC and 27 points. Or your Dropsuit Taryot Paramedic with a boarding shotgun, heavy pistol, close combat weapon for 24 points. I am working on a list now as a limited insertion list that brings 3 of these guys. And I'm going to wait till the link team drops, and then I'm going to just crash land all the way around them with my combat jump explosion, because either they're going to have to dodge out of the way, therefore giving you a free landing, or they're going to shoot and have to automatically take a damage 12 save, which, depending on the link team, if it's a light infantry link team, could ruin a link team. And if they do drop, if they decide to dodge and they get out of the explosion, you got a boarding shotgun, so they're shooting on 17s before negatives. And most likely they're not going to be in cover because you're right there on them. I love the drop suit Taryots. I've not actually gotten to play with them yet, but I'm really looking forward to it, and I will let y'all know in the comments how it turns out. I love it, love it, love it. I can't wait to play with them. The last unit we're going to talk about is the Q drone. And the reason I'm talking about the Q drone is because everybody's attack remote is a little bit different, and we should talk about the combined armies at least once. So 6-4 movement, 13 CC, 11 BS, 10 Fizz, 13 Whip, no armor, 3 BTS, and 1 structure. You can only bring 1. 360 degree visor, remote presence, courage, mimetism -3, total reaction, and immunity shock. I got 2 profiles, and they've got a paralysis, close combat weapon -3, 1 SWC for 25 points. Now, what you used to see all the time was the heavy machine gun, which, don't get me wrong, was really good. But now, if you're strapped for a point, strap it down, because the plasma rifle is now so much better. While its range bands are not as good, if you were to make the hit, it's a template weapon with arm and BTS. Plasma is so good, and the only way to get it in math is with this Q drone. And so if you're planning to move your Q drone up the field a little bit and not just keep him in as an ARO, I would absolutely consider bringing the plasma rifle Q drone. I think it's excellent, and you should absolutely try it. But that's all we're going to go over, because the rest of the profiles really didn't change a whole hell of a lot. And so there's really no reason to go over everything. But if you like the shortened version, leave it down in the comments, or if you want us to go over the entire sectorial, let us know down there in the comments if you liked it. If you did like the video, hit the thumbs up, hit that bell icon, because every time it lets us know that, like, hey, we need to put things out, and when we do put things out, you're the first to get it. It's going to help us out a whole lot. We love you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.